And we are back with more from Ted Greene's Modern Chord Progressions, page 43. There are some really cool ideas on this page. Let's check them out. First progression here is in the key of G. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, it's again. And resolve. Now, how do we explain this first situation, right? Notice he's telling us that this is a B minor 7. And if you happen to know anything about triads, you might look at that and go, hey, that's not a B minor 7, that's a D major triad in second inversion. What's going on? Well, let me tell you what's going on, right? Ted is teaching us 17 things at once, and one of the things he is teaching us is that, you know, we're getting, with this D major triad, this 5, 1, third of D major, we're also getting the flat 7, the flat 3, and the 5 of B minor 7. In other words, the D major chord is a rootless B minor 7 chord. That's something to think about, right? In terms of relative major minor, right? A major chord is the flat 7, the flat 3, and the 5 of its relative minor chord, of its relative minors, minor 7. Let's try that again, right? This shape, which is a D major triad, is also the flat 7, the flat 3, and the 5 of B minor 7. Hence, B minor 7. Lovely. Now this next shape, this is undoubtedly a bit stretchy, and he's calling it a E minor 7. We have the minor third, the flat 7, the root, and the minor third again. Nothing too ridiculous there. If you want, you could play the open E string, or the low E string as well. But, you know, maybe don't take too many liberties when learning this thing. Next, a good old A minor 7 inversion. That's flat 7, flat 3, 5, 1. And then this shape. This is might be the most challenging of the bunch. This is a D13. You've got the third, the flat 7, the root, and the pinky's reaching for the 13. Super fun. Let's put it up in time, up to time, up in time, out of time, all the time. 3, 4. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so then Ted's taken us to the key of C, and similar ideas here. Let's take a look. 2, 3, 4. Now notice this is the same darn thing in the key of C and the next string set over, right? We have this G major triad, which is implying the E minor 7. We've got this A minor 7. We've got this inversion of D minor 7. And that stretchy G13 situation. And then we resolve to handy dandy C. One more time. It's A minor 7. D minor 7. G13. That's well, it's funny, right? That's 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Moving along, key of F. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta try it again. Here we go. We got. And this guy. Resolve. let's talk about it, right? Once again, we have what appears to just be a major chord shape, and it is, right? This is a C major inversion, C major in second inversion, but once again, if we interpret it in terms of its relative minor, that's the flat 7, the flat 3, the 5, and the flat 7 again. So you could think of it as a rootless A minor 7 into a D minor 7. And this might be a tricky shape for some of you, getting that distance between the middle finger and the ring finger. But stay at it. This is a good one to have. Also notice that this is an F6 chord, right? If you're interpreting the F as the root, you've got 1, 5, 6, 3. But this is supposed to be the 6th chord of this situation. And the 6th chord is minor, which in this case makes this shape D minor 7, right? That's D, 1, 5, flat 3, flat 7. Good old G minor 7 inversion with that top note. Now Ted is suggesting that we fret that thing with middle, index, ring, index, using the 5th finger technique to get that highest pitch. If you're having trouble with the double stop of the middle finger, right, the middle finger's supposed to get boop, boop. If that's giving you trouble, you can do middle, ring, index, pinky, and still get that 5th finger technique. I almost prefer this if there's enough room to do it, right? Higher up on the neck, it's going to be more difficult. But when you're using all the fingertips, things just feel a bit more stable, a bit more, there's a bit more like you've got it, right? As opposed to double stop life, which is just a bit trickier, maybe a little more flimsy. Anyway, let's hear it all up. And then after that G minor 7, we drop down to a C7 in first inversion. Gonna have to use a little bit of a pinky bar to get that top pitch. All right, let's hear it in time. 2, 3, 4. Okay, a few more on this page. Let's give it a whirl. Keeping it in the key of F. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tricky, that last chord, and then okay, let's talk about what's going on here. Yet again, the 3 chord inversion of an A minor 7, flat 7, flat 3, 5, 1. This D minor 7 with melodic movement on top into this G minor 11 inversion. Here you're going to have to use the double stop on your middle finger to get those bottom 2 pitches. That's flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 9, 11. Lovely. And then dig this C9 shape. Notice to get the melody and to get everything happening here, you have to switch string sets to this situation, which is a bit of an echo of this situation. But Ted wants that top melody, right? So we're putting it here. And then we can resolve to an F major something of our choosing. Or maybe even F minor. Why not, right? Well, maybe there's some reasons. Who knows? Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, and... That's a nice one. Let's do 2 more on this page, and these are cool. These are hard, or they're just ridiculously stretchy. But do your finger yoga every day, right, Bach? Do your finger yoga. Okay, here we go. So yet again, we've got these almost like an implication of chords. He's taken us to the key of E. So starting with this, into this guy, into this guy. Into this guy, and let's resolve to E. Okay, let me see if I can put that in a little nicer bit of a nice tempo. 1, 2, 3, and gosh darn it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, this is cool. Why is this cool? Well, notice this very first dyad, it's a 2-note situation. He's telling us this is a G sharp minor, right? And let's take that interpretation. That means that we have the flat third and the fifth, no root. So a lot of rootless, he's been giving us all of these rootless 3 chords to start the thing off, right? Which often look just like a major triad. Notice here, if you add a little something on top, it's good old B major. Handy dandy, but we're not even getting that far. We're just getting the flat 3 and the 5 of the 3 chord. Okay, so we got that into this C sharp minor 7. Now, how is this a C sharp minor 7? Well, let's talk about it. You got the flat 7 on the bottom, the root in the middle, and the minor third on top. That's going to be a stretch for plenty of you, but it's worth going for it. And even if grabbing it as a chord seems too daunting, you can have it as a melody. All right, these runs like that. Okay, the next one, this will be tough, right? It's a true staircase chord. That's an F sharp minor 7. You've got the root on top. The minor third is here, the 5th, and the flat 7. And then this B13, Ted has us coming in like this. Oh, pardon me, like this. Bringing in the root. And he's also saying you could play this as a flat 9. 13 flat 9. And resolving. Let's see if I can put it in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a great sound. Now, things to think about here is, on this particular page, Ted is showing us, how a major chord is living inside of every minor 7 chord we ever play, right? There's a major triad inside of every minor 7, and how we can use that to, imply the sound of the minor chord. He's also showing us here, especially with this progression, that even just 2 notes can get a harmonic space or a harmonic meaning across. And we want to be aware of that, especially as guitarists. We only have so many strings, so many fingers, that we want to be able to get the harmonic meaning across, ideally with maybe not necessarily ideally, but the less notes we use to get the harmonic meaning across, the more, potentially the more we can do, the more we can play with, right? If we have to, plenty of players are under this false assumption that you need to play every note in the chord to get the point across. That is not true. You often only need, as Ted is displaying here, the third. Sometimes that's really all you need is the third and or the 7 to really get the feeling of that harmony across. And that's what we have, at least in this particular progression. We have the 3rd and the 5th of the minor chord that Ted is telling us to play, the G sharp minor. Here we have the flat 7, root and 3rd. Here we have everything we need. And here, yet again, everything we need. Flat 9. And resolving. Let's keep going. Now, Ted is essentially going to do the same thing that we just did, but on the next string set. This is cool. 2, 3, and. That's a fun one, right? Stretchy town. This is a cool one, right? Let's talk about the what and why of it, right? Here's our implication of G sharp minor. That's the flat 3 and the 5. Here's our C sharp minor 7. That's flat 7, root, flat 3. Here's our F sharp minor 7. That's flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. And notice also that that's, you could think of that as an A13 chord. 1, 3, 5, 6 or 13. Isn't that interesting? Where are we? And, oh, the B 13 flat 9. Very cool. That movement from beautiful sound, right? That's it. In terms of this B 13 flat 9, that's flat 7, flat 9, 3. Notice also that that's a diminished triad, right? Flat 7, flat 9, major third, and what do we have on top? The 13, of course. There it is. Lovely. Let's put it in time. 2, 3, 4. And. Oh, I think that's an error. Sure is. And. One more. It's. And. Resolve. We'll leave it there for page 43. A lot of cool ideas on this one, a lot of insights. So give it a shot. I'll see you later.